Kathmandu Valley has continued to report over 300 cases for quite some time now. Judging by the numbers, the ongoing prohibitory orders seem ineffective so far in containing the spread in the densely populated capital. It is imperative for the government now, more than ever, to further strengthen the health system and for the public to abide by all safety measures at all times. Good morning, I am Bipashna Thamang and these are the headlines of the hour. Over 1,000 new cases of COVID-19 reported yesterday, taking the tally past 47,000. Varying test results of same sample raises question on the reliability of PCR method. More than 50% of medical students failed the license examination conducted by the Nepal Medical Council. Broker companies reap big commissions in the share market. Earnings exceed 1.5 billion rupees last fiscal year. And Serena Williams advances to the US Open quarterfinals, defeating Maria Sakkari. Dominic Thiem also reaches the last 8 with a win over Felix Auger-Aliassime. More than 1,000 cases of COVID-19 were reported in the country yesterday, taking the total number of cases to almost 47,300. 11 COVID-19 deaths were also reported yesterday, taking the death tally in the country to 300. The Kathmandu Valley once again reported the highest 326 new cases, with 293 cases reported from Kathmandu district alone, while Lalitpur registered 20 new cases and Bhaktapur 13 cases. 73 cases were confirmed in Makwanpur, 65 cases in Sunsari, 44 in Dhanusha, 42 in Banki and 41 each in Siraha, Bardia and Rupandehi districts. 63 army personnel out of 245 tested in Sudur Pashchim province also tested positive yesterday. Meanwhile, a total of 30,677 people have been discharged in the country so far after registering full recovery, with 1,736 individuals discharged yesterday alone. This takes the recovery rate in the country to 65%. According to the Health Ministry, there are around 16,300 active cases in the country. Over 9,000 are in different isolation centers, while 7,190 individuals are in home isolation. 20 COVID-19 patients are kept in ventilators and 171 in ICUs. 4,739 individuals are in various quarantine centers across the country. Polymerase chain reaction method, or the PCR method, is considered a relatively more reliable way to confirm the contraction of coronavirus. However, there have been instances where the test results of same individuals have been found varying depending upon laboratories. The National Public Health Laboratory in the capital itself has admitted that the possibility of 20% error in COVID-19 test results. This has created an unrest among those who have given their samples for testing, as the credibility of the test through PCR method has been questioned. We have more in this report.
Baburam Khadka of Sinamangal, Kathmandu, admitted his wife at civil hospital in New Baneshwar a week ago for surgery. The hospital sought for the coronavirus report prior to the surgery and sent swab samples to Beed Hospital for testing on 31st of August. However, samples were again sent to another private laboratory for testing, as Beed Hospital informed of delay in providing the result. The result from the private laboratory came out negative on the same day of the test, while the report from Beed Hospital the next day came out positive for COVID-19. Samples were again sent to Patan Hospital on 3rd of September for confirmation, which again showed a negative result. The Khadka couple was stressed out due to the varying results. This is not the first case that had differing results, as many such cases have been reported in the country in the past few days. Mayor of Nagarjun Municipality in Kathmandu, Mohan Basnet, gave his swab samples on 29th of August for testing. The result came out negative the next day, which was quite a sigh of relief for him. A ward chairman, who had also tested for coronavirus along with the mayor, was also found negative to the virus. However, on 1st of September, the laboratory confirmed that the ward chairman tested positive for COVID-19. Mayor Basnet's samples were sent for testing for the second time on 2nd of September, which surprisingly came out positive as well. According to the National Public Health Laboratory, the result of 15 to 20% of the samples could be erratic. Experts opine error in collecting samples attributes to the faulty results. Such faulty results have not only created chaos among the people, but have also increased the risk of transmission of the virus in the community.
Almost 51% of the students who appeared in the license examination conducted by the Nepal Medical Council have failed. Some 1,047 students who had passed MBBS and BDS degree appeared in the license examination conducted by the council on Saturday, out of which only 517 passed out the examination. 358 students out of 785 in MBBS and 159 out of 262 in BDS cleared the license examination. Students have to pass the license examination conducted by the Nepal Medical Council prior to starting medical practice. The council conducted the examination in 16 examination centers on Saturday amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, citing lack of doctors for treatment. And we'll take a short break here. We have more news coming up. Welcome back. The share market has been witnessing higher than normal transactions these days, given that most businesses have been shut due to restrictions imposed by the government amid the coronavirus crisis. With the increase in share transactions, share broker companies have reported of attractive earnings and commission, which totals to around 1.58 billion rupees the last fiscal year alone. We have more in this report.
The stock market was shut for almost 4 months due to the lockdown imposed from 24th of March. The stock market, however, witnessed transactions of more than 149 billion rupees, from which share broker companies earned 1.58 billion rupees as commission in the last fiscal year. The brokerage fee in Nepal is high in comparison to India and stands second in South Asia. In India, share brokers charge a very nominal brokerage fee, while in China, it is much less than in India. However, in Nepal, the brokerage fee is a minimum of 0.4%. Investors even have to pay 0.6% brokerage fee for transaction amounting up to 50,000 rupees. However, brokers argue that the amount charged by the regulatory board included in the broker commission attributes to the costly service charge. The Nepal Stock Exchange earns 20% from the total brokerage commission, while the Security Board of Nepal earns 0.6%. However, in India, the stock exchange earns just 0.003% of the transaction amount. The brokerage fee rate at the moment would have been normal if the transaction amount was less. However, as the stock market has been witnessing transactions of more than 2 billion rupees on a daily basis, investors opine that the commission should be lowered. The commission formed by the Finance Ministry some 2 years back to study problems in the stock market in its report had suggested of amending the broker commission. However, broker companies have mounted pressure not to amend the brokerage fee, saying it would decrease their profit.
The Ministry for Land Management has decided to allow the plotting of agricultural lands despite the draft on the rules for the Land Use Act still awaiting approval from the Cabinet. Minister for Land Management Padma Aryal has scrapped the earlier decision to hold land plotting until the rules were approved by the Cabinet, raising questions over the minister's intentions. We have more in this report.
On 6th of August 2019, the President endorsed the Land Use Act approved by the Federal Parliament. The Act provisioned for the plotting of lands into 9 categories, including agriculture, residential, commercial, industrial and mine among others, and prohibited the plotting and sales of any other types of lands. However, the process of categorizing lands has been on hold as the rules to implement the Act has yet to be approved by the Cabinet's committee. Furthermore, instead of expediting the process of forming the rules, Minister for Land Management Padma Aryal has invited controversy by allowing the plotting of agricultural lands without adequate preparations. On 4th of September, Minister Aryal scrapped the earlier decision and directed the concerned units to allow plotting.
अरु कुनै नियतवश त्यहाँ रोकाउने भनेर रोकाइएको कुरा होइन हामी छलफलकै चरणमा त्यसलाई अझै परिष्कृत गर्नको निम्ति त्यसलाई अझै सफल एउटा प्रोजेक्टको रूपमा अगाडि बढाउनको निम्ति विज्ञ साथीहरुको राय सुझाव समेत समेटेर जाउँ भनेर ढिलो मात्रै भएको कुरा हो.
On 10th of August 2017, the then Land Management Minister Gopal Dahit had issued a directive prohibiting the plotting and sales of agricultural lands. Real estate businesses and businessmen had begun lobbying against the directive right away. The incumbent minister had allowed the plotting of lands once a year, right after assuming office, to facilitate these real estate businessmen.
कृषियोग्य जमिनलाई खण्डीकरण गर्ने र केही भूमाफियाहरूलाई फेरि फाइदा पुग्ने खालको गतिविधि भएको छ हुँदैछ भन्ने कुरा सुनेपछि मलाई दुःख लागेको छ र यो सन्दर्भमा मैले के सुझाव दिन चाहन्छु भन्दाखेरि नेपाल सरकार अहिलेको मन्त्री परिषदले छिटो भन्दा छिटो भू उपयोग नीतिलाई गाउँ तहसम्म नगर तहसम्म कार्यान्वयनको लागि अगाडि बढाउनु पर्दछ.
Analysts have stated that Minister Aryal's decision to allow the plotting of agricultural lands has paved way for more corruption at the land revenue units. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIAA, had directed the ministry to conclude the rules for the Land Use Act 2 months back. However, the ministry has failed to pay heed as of yet.
In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the locals in Salyan what they think of the arbitrations done within communities on cases of violence against women, among others, before the cases are taken to the police. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
डरको मानसिकता पनि हुन सक्छ केही भन्छ कसैले केही गर्छ कि भनेर पनि अरु कुरा यो स्वयं अब शक्तिमा हुने मान्छेहरुले यस्ता घटनाहरु टाकसोप गर्ने त्यहाँ मिलाउने त्यस्तो खालको प्रवृत्ति छ.
घटनाहरु गाउँ घरमा मिलाउँदा प्रहरीमा कानुनको दायरासम्म नआउँदाखेरि ती घटनाहरु फेरि दोहोरिने क्रम रहन्छ र त्यसले चाहिँ अपराध मुक्त समाज बनाउन चाहिँ कदापि सकिदैन.
त्यसलाई ढाकछोप गर्ने मिलेमतो गर्ने पैसा बार्गेनिङ गर्ने जस्ता कामहरु हुन्छन्. त्यसले फेरि अपराधमा फेरि अपराध जन्माएर आउँछ.
गाउँका अब ठुला भनाउँदाहरूले नै गाउँघरमै मिलाउने गरेका छन् किनभने उनीहरूले के सोच्छन् कि आफ्नो पनि बदनाम होला आफ्नो गाउँको पनि बदनाम होला र मैले अहिले यस्तो अप्ठ्यारोको बेलामा उनीहरूलाई सहयोग गरे भने भोलि मलाई पनि सहयोग गर्लान् भनेर एकदमै आफ्नो स्वार्थको लागि मात्रै उनीहरूले गाउँमै मिलाइरहेका छन्.
Time now for our segment Public Polls, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Polls.
And here's the question: what's your take on the government's decision to allow flooding of agricultural lands? Your options are option A, practical decision, option B, lack of vision, and option C, influence of real estate businesses. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.